Boom, 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 Chenka, lads and lasses. Good morning, everybody. It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little edition of Pig Breakfast for you. We're going to break down the aftermath from the game last night and talk about a couple of sizzling hot sausage topics. So let's get stuck into this, everybody. Thanks for joining me. This is the Pig, and this is Pig Breakfast. Boom, Chenka. So yes, hope you're all having a good morning today and have woken up on the right side of bed. I certainly have got a decent night's sleep last night, slept like a baby, because let's be honest now, Manchester United are pretty much back, aren't we? And what I mean by that is we're dispatching the shite teams that we should be dispatching, and we're generally looking much better. And excuse me, sorry about that, lads and lasses, just a little bit of a morning double sneeze for you there. But look, I'm going to talk about some of the major talking points from the game last night. You've seen my post-match reaction, you've seen my thoughts on it, but I want to delve into a couple of the major talking points. So what is my piggy's sizzling hot sausage of the day in terms of the topic? Well, I think it's got to be Mason Greenwood, and it's got to be the fact that he's only 18 years of age, and to me, it looks like he's going to turn into be one of the best ever players to ever grace the game of football. Bold statement, I know. It sounds a bit crazy to say something like that for somebody that's only played, 6 or 7 Premier League starts this season, and who's only 18 years of age, but I can't really remember an 18-year-old look so comfortable, look so confident, and have so many varied skills as Mason Greenwood does right now, and he is only 18. So, I want to hear your thoughts on what you think about the future possibilities of Mason Greenwood and what heights he can reach in his career. But for me, I think the sky's the complete limit. He could go on and be one of the very best players to ever have pulled on a freaking jersey, honestly. So let's talk about the reasons why then, everybody. I know some of you are going to be going, what a load of chosh. Look at Rooney, look at Messi, look at Ronaldo when they were teenagers. All right, okay, well, let's freaking do it then. Because he holds up with any of them in terms of the amount of games that he's had, the amount of goals that he's scored, the influence that he has in games, and just how damn good he actually is. So in my opinion, he holds up, and I'm gonna explain why now. I mean, if you actually look, it's only his 6th Premier League start of the season. So he started in 6 games in the Premier League, 7 overall throughout his entire career. So he's only started 7 Premier League games throughout his entire career, and he's already banged in 6 goals in the Premier League. You think about that, 6 starts this season, 7 overall. Sure, he's come on as a sub a bunch of times, but 6 goals from 7 starts throughout his whole career in the Premier League. That's pretty freaking unbelievable, isn't it, from Mason Greenwood there? Plus, it's not just about the stats, you know. It's not just about the stats. It's also just about how he actually is out there on the pitch, how he plays, how his vision, how he's got fantastic vision, his execution of passes like that one for Bruno's goal yesterday. The 3rd goal was absolutely just unbelievable. You don't really expect that sort of execution and vision for somebody that young who's just come into the team, really. It was an incredible pass for an incredible goal, lovely counter-attacking move, and Mason Greenwood basically made it as well. So massive shout out to Mason Greenwood for his performance yesterday. But pretty much every time we've seen him, he looks absolutely sensational. And like I said, the stats there, they don't lie. I mean, he's actually the first player to score this many Premier League goals before his 19th birthday. So not any other player in the Premier League before him has scored as many goals as Mason Greenwood had up to his 19th birthday. I mean, what the hell? Who is this guy? Is he Messiah? Is he the Messiah? You know, is he the second coming? It seems like it, because his stats are absolutely unreal for somebody so young. His talent's obviously massively high. You know, he's got left foot, right foot, unbelievable composure in front of goal. You saw that from his first goal. He's completely bamboozled the defence yesterday. Few step overs, done the defender and tucked it in a very small gap at the right stick there for the goal. It was just absolutely textbook. You would think it was a player who has been playing at the top level for many years. Like, for instance, that's the sort of goal you would expect from somebody like Lionel Messi to score, for instance, or Robin van Persie in his pomp, you know. And a lot of people do compare him to Robin van Persie. I think he might actually be better. I think he might actually be better than Robin van Persie. Now, don't get me wrong, Robin van Persie was insane when he was young. And obviously he's turned into one of the best strikers in the world during his era. But I don't see why Mason Greenwood can't be better. He seems to have more different strings to his bow, more attributes to his game. It's not just about the movement, the finishing, the control, the ability. It's also the vision aspect of it. Left foot, right foot. You know, he's a special talent. Basically, he's a genius, this boy, is what I'm saying. No, but seriously, I mean, what a player. It's like it brings into another point I want to make. It brings into question the need to sign somebody like Jadon Sancho. Now, hear me out for a second. Jadon Sancho is a player that all United fans would want to see at United because he is quality. He is 19. He is doing the business over there in the Bundesliga on a very regular basis and looking like one of the world's best teenagers as well. Of course he is. In terms of what he's done, of course he's further ahead than the Mason Greenwood in his career because he's been playing consistently week in, week out for a top team in a top league and he's putting up the numbers. So he's doing a tremendous job, Jadon Sancho. Don't get me wrong. But what if we do sign Jadon Sancho? Well, if we sign Jadon Sancho, we've got a formidable forward line. What would we have? We'd have Rashford, Martial, Sancho. On the right, Dan James is in question. But let's be honest now, what's that actually going to do for Mason Greenwood? Does it mean he's going to play as many games? He's going to develop as quickly? No, it's not. It doesn't. Sure, he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play in the hole, he can play up front. That's what's so amazing about Mason Greenwood. So he will still get a lot of games, even if we did sign another striker and another right mid like Jadon Sancho, say. But let's not pretend that his development will be slightly hindered by the fact that somebody like Sancho or whoever else might be coming in and playing in that first team position ahead of him, which is a concern for me because, look, if you've got somebody who in a couple of years' time will be as good as Jadon Sancho, different type of player, obviously, but in that terms, type of player, the fact is, in a couple of years' time, he'll probably be as good. But he's 2 years younger or a year younger, whatever he is. So he's not as further developed. But if you actually did get Sancho and stop Mason Greenwood from playing so much, it's going to hinder his development. So it's a catch-22 situation, guys. As you can see in the thumbnail for this video as well, I can just see Hydero officials commenting, has Angel Gomes left Man United yet? So there's no confirmation right now, but just to give you a breakdown quickly, obviously Mason Greenwood did the old goal celebration last night, as you can see in the thumbnail, and that was basically in reference to his friend Angel Gomes, who does look to be leaving Manchester United. So I think that it is realistic that he's leaving. I don't think Man United have got any deal in place or wrapped up for Angel Gomes. It's a shame. But he's also just not really looked up to the standard when he has come into the first team. And he looks up to the standard as a young player, don't get me wrong. But when he's actually been given the opportunity in the first team, which isn't many times by Ollie, he hasn't taken that opportunity. Whereas somebody like Mason Greenwood, he's taken that opportunity. He's come in there and he's instantly performed and he's had an impact at such a tender age. So of course he's going to get the game time ahead of somebody like Angel Gomes, who when he is thrust in there, just have a bit of a freaking calamity most of the time, you know. Players like Brandon Williams have come into it, young lads. They've taken their opportunities to play in the first team. So there's a difference. If you're good enough, you're old enough. And unfortunately for Angel Gomes at this moment in time for Manchester United, he's just not good enough. And maybe it's a Pogba situation again, you know, like Sir Alex with Pogba, and maybe it's a wrong decision, whatever. But at the moment in time, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer obviously doesn't feel like Angel Gomes is good enough. And it may be a bit frustrating for Angel Gomes. I get it, because you've got that absolute pigeon, Jesse Lingard, you know, going plucking around the place. And it must be very frustrating for somebody like Angel Gomes, who is quality, who does have talent, who is a young, good player, wanting to try and progress his career and break his way in the first team. But he doesn't really warrant playing in the first team right now. Who's he going to get ahead of? So it's one of those, isn't it? It's one of those ones. Football Crew Show, how are you doing this morning? He comments and says, how long can you see Greenwood playing for United? Well, I don't see any reason why Greenwood won't stay his entire career at Manchester United. This is one thing about Manchester United that, in my opinion, does separate us from a lot of the other clubs. And that is, we still, even to this day, even though it's a completely different landscape in terms of football and what happens at football clubs and, you know, the influx of foreign players in the game 20-odd years ago and all that sort of stuff, we are a club that does produce its own talents and does generally keep on to its own talents. You don't have to go very far back at all to find the class of 92, which was a generation of footballers which we developed, which all came through, which stayed at United their entire careers, pretty much most of them, and established that core feeling at Manchester United in the squad. And I feel like we've got a similar situation right now at Manchester United. It might not be quite up to the levels of the class of 92. What is? But players like Rashford, like Brandon Williams, like Mason Greenwood. I don't see those guys looking to go anywhere else in the future because I just don't think there's any real reason to. These sorts of players, the ages they are, the improvements that they're making, the potential that they have, they're going to go on and be some of the best players in the world. So Manchester United will want to keep them, I'm sure. Now, they are supposed to be like fervent Manchester United fans, obviously, so I think that he'll be staying at Manchester United his entire career. It's hard to say that. He is only 18. Who knows what's going to happen? We don't know what the future holds. But I don't see any reason why he'd want to leave a great football club that he's obviously passionate about and loves. Same goes for Marcus Rashford. Same goes for players like even like Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Like he's obviously not a product of the United's academy, but we signed him when he's young. He's proven himself as a footballer at this football club. I don't see any reason for Aaron Wan-Bissaka not to stay at Manchester United for the next decade. So I think we've got some incredible talents in this side, which are only going to get better. You're going to see a big improvement over the coming years from all these teams, all these players in the team. Because like I said, if we don't sign anybody, give it 2 or 3 seasons, we're going to have an absolutely formidable team with the young players we've got in there developing further. Like I say, Rashford's going to be one of the world's best. Greenwood's going to be one of the world's best. Aaron Wan-Bissaka already is one of the world's best. You know, so we've got some incredible talents there that are doing the business. So yeah, just to answer your question, I think a long time. Jarvis Cocker, how you doing? Good morning, mate. He says, but we need Sancho. Greenwood is only 18. Even Ronaldo wasn't a regular starter at 18. Hey, man, I'm not saying I don't want Jadon Sancho. I do want Jadon Sancho. But I'm just bringing up the point that Greenwood's probably going to be as good, if not better, than Jadon Sancho by the time he's that age. If you're actually looking at the stats and all that sort of stuff, I mean, he's slotted in there the last couple of games, taken over from Dan James, really, who has looked a little bit disappointing. 21 years of age, his job really was to come in and be a backup. That's all he should really be doing. But he's gone in there instead of him, and he's looked infinitely better. He's had an incredible impact. I mean, look at that game against Brighton yesterday. So the first goal, obviously, he's basically created that out of nothing, really. There's a couple of Brighton shirts in between him and the goal. He's bamboozled the defender, slotted it in. Absolutely Lionel Messi-esque, unbelievable finish from the guy. And then if you actually look what he did later in the game, his general play overall, his vision, his execution, his overlaps, you know, him playing it in behind to players making overlapping runs, etc. He's just got it. He's got the vision. He's got the touch. And there's no reason why if you don't give him the game time, he won't develop into that level of a player in a short amount of time. So it's one of those situations. Do you go and get Jadon Sancho, who's absolutely amazing and is going to add a lot to this team right now and going forward too, because he's only 19, remember? Or do you just give Mason the mantle? To be honest, I think we all know the answer to this. I think we've got to sign Jadon Sancho if we can. If he's available, if we can get him, because that forward line's insane. Plus, what I like about Mason Greenwood is he can play up top there. He can play in the hole. He can play on the right. He can play on the left. He's a versatile forward player. He's got both of his feet are fantastic. And that is very important for somebody coming up into the side, because especially if there's going to be a challenge for places like if we do have Sancho, we do have Martial up top and Rashford. It's like, that's your front three then. How are you going to really dislodge them? Well, Greenwood can play across the whole line. Greenwood can be somewhat of a jack of all trades in that position, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I like to see somebody a specialist in a position, but at the same time, he will get game time playing across all of those different positions, and he can play at striker. And Odion Igalo's on loan until January. Well, after that, maybe you'll see Ole Gunnar just give the mantle to Mason as that backup striker for Tony Martial. You never know. Right then, lads and lasses, let's get smack bang into your comment section this morning. I've got my cup of tea here. Massive shout out and lots of freaking love to all the Bacano Brigadiers this morning getting in here for the pig breakfast. We're going to try and do these as much as possible, just talking about the events of the day or some of the news surrounding Manchester United and football in general. So that's what this show's all about. It's a short show, so do us a favour if you're watching right now. Hit that thumbs up button, lads and lasses, if you can. Smash a like on it. It definitely helps us out massively. And also subscribe to the channel if you're new and you happen to be here. And give it a share on social media if you can as well. That would be massive. GDU Nafi Gaming says, I wouldn't think it would it impact us if Sancho doesn't sign and he won't go to Liverpool to be a bench warmer. That's why he left City. That's a very good point, Nafi. And I think, to be fair, there's not many clubs right now that Jadon Sancho would want to leave Dortmund for, because he's absolutely he's the trousers over there at Dortmund, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's the mutts nuts over there. He's the dog's bollocks over there, over at Dortmund. And of course, if he did go and sign for something like City or Liverpool or something like that, like you very rightly say, he's not going to get the game time that he's getting at Dortmund. So it has to be a club like Manchester United, who are a top club, but who do need a little bit more personnel right now. And I'm not pretending like we don't need Sancho. We could definitely do with Sancho. I'm just very impressed with Greenwood for his age, how he's coming along. And I do genuinely believe, if you look at the players that I've seen grow up in my lifetime and go on to do amazing things in the game, players like Cristiano Ronaldo, like Lionel Messi, like Wayne Rooney, these sorts of lads that have come through and gone on to do sensational things and looked amazing when they were young as well, they have actually, they've progressed incredibly. And Mason, at this point of his career, is as good as any of them, in my opinion. So we'll see what the future holds for Mason Greenwood, but I definitely think it's bright. I definitely think that he loves United and he'll be happy playing for United for a lot of years. And we're going to definitely have a good future with somebody like Mason Greenwood at the football club. Right, okay, Clam J in the house comments, Matty, getting ready for the post-lockdown carnage. Yep, there's going to be lots of carnage going on. Matty Lewis in the house says, took in the delivery, set up for the weekend. I'm now chilling before I get back. Oh, you're back at work now, Matty Lewis. Fair play, lad. I hope it goes well, your first couple of days back at work and all that stuff, mate. Gary Wells says, I'm washing up hands and wet listening, though. Nice one, Gary Wells. Thank you very much for getting in here, everyone, for this cheeky little morning show. What do you guys think about the potential for Mason Greenwood at United? What does the future hold for Mason Greenwood? Can he go on and be one of the best players in the world in a few years' time? Will he be able to emulate the careers of such great teenagers we've seen develop, such as people like Robin van Persie, like Messi, Ronaldo, these sorts of guys? Do you think we're talking tosh? Am I talking cod on the channel this morning? Is Mason Greenwood a good player, but is he not up to that level? Come on, I think most of us know the answer to this. He's 18, he's banging them in. 6 goals in 7 starts in his Premier League career. Come on. Wesley Gelland, how you doing, Wesley? Good morning. He says, Greenwood looks like he grew up during lockdown. He looks a proper player. Shout out from Cape Town, South Africa. Top man, Wesley. Thank you so much for getting in here. Hope you're having a good day over there. And yes, you're so right, actually. He does look like he developed quite a lot during lockdown. And it's strange, I guess, when you're that age as well, it's very quick and very sudden that you can make a lot of physical changes too. Because I think you can see, compared to Mason Greenwood, the skinny little boy who was going in before lockdown, after lockdown, a few months chilling at home, getting on the old protein, doing some anaerobic exercises, he's just got a little bit more physical, a little bit more muscular. And for somebody like Mason, if he can just have that ability to hold somebody off a little bit with the other aspects that he's got of his game, he's going to be a heck of a handful for defenders, isn't he? So yeah, I think he's got it all, man. He's got it all. Physically, he's great. He's fast as Fook. If he could add a little bit of muscularity as well, there's no reason why he can't be one of the best players ever. Seriously. Ice Queen Gaming getting in here too. Ice Queen Gaming, good morning to you, Ice Queen. Dawn, she says, I'm having full breakfast while watching the stream. Oh, you're making me hungry now, so I haven't had any breakfast yet. I know it's called pig breakfast, but we haven't had any of that yet. GDU Gaming loves the Carling. Oh, do you know what? I'm not a big lover of Carling. Lots of people love Carling. To me, Carling's just like hog's piss, to be honest. But fair play, each to their own. Bubs11, how you doing, Bubs? Comments, that third goal was incredible. Been far too used to moves like that ending with a goal kick. Mason's run and a cross from Bruno was awesome. I have to admit that goal was one of the nicest goals we've seen from United this season, and it was a classic United goal in terms of the counter-attacking nature of it. Cutting them open, rapid, quick, excellent pinpoint accuracy from all aspects of it. I mean, look at Matic's pass in the centre of the park, getting us away down the left. Chested it, volleyed it, perfect pinpoint execution from Matic, who was sensational once again in that game yesterday. And then Mason Greenwood controlling it on the left-hand side, taking it forward. Loads of space for him, but he's still got a heck of a lot to do. There's still 3 Brighton defenders trying to get in between him and Bruno Fernandes. And what does he do? He curls a lovely pinpoint pass into Bruno at the back post, and Bruno volleys it home. Amazing bit of wing play by Mason Greenwood. The lad seems to be able to do it all, whether he's on the right side of the pitch, whether he's on the left side of the pitch, whether he's up the top of the pitch. He just seems comfortable doing all of the jobs attacking for Manchester United. So I'm over the moon with how he's getting on. Thulani Bukhani, how you doing? Good morning to you, Thulani. Good morning, Joshua Whitfield. I hope you're all good. A bunch of Bacon Brigadier legends getting in here this morning for Pig Breakfast. Shout out to you all. Thank you so much for stopping by. We're not only going to stick on here for a few more minutes, but I'll read a whole bunch of your comments out before we go. Jarvis Cocker says, will Solskjaer keep his job even if we don't qualify for the Champions League? Is Woodward to be trusted in a situation like that? I mean, I personally think we should persevere with Solskjaer. Even if he doesn't get Champions League football, the players he's signed, the development we've had, the improvement in the style that Manchester United have had since he's been managing. It's not an overnight thing. There was a period where it was really quite dreary and it was still a hangover from the Jose days. And that's not really his fault because it takes a while to change your team. It takes a while to instill a philosophy. And it also takes a while to get rid of some of the players that were the problem and bring in a few new players that we are so desperately in need of, such as players like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Bruno Fernandes. You know, so I think even if he didn't get Champions League football, we should absolutely stick with him. Vince, Bruno, Madison, Grealish comments, is Greenwood a shoo-in for the Euros now, Pig? For me, he should be. I mean, I don't know if he's a shoo-in, because obviously England do have some good options up there. But yeah, because of his versatility, let's see how he does between now and the end of the season. Because it is 2021, obviously, the Euros. So there's a lot of time between now and then to see what he can do. But if he goes as he is, and he continues as he's done so far as in his short career, then yeah, Southgate's going to have to take him to the Euros, isn't he? And he'll be starting, in my opinion, by then. Actually, I mean, it's crazy to think that, but I think he'll be starting. It's tough to say that, actually. Probably won't be, because, let's be honest now, we've got Rashford, we've got Sancho, you've got Sterling. You know, there is a lot of talent for England at the moment, but in terms of his age and his development and where he is, I mean, just compare Mason Greenwood to that bloody headless chicken, Sterling. Now, Sterling, I'm not calling him headless chicken now. He's been sensational the last couple of seasons. Pep's brought him along amazingly. But think about what Raheem Sterling was like when he was 18. He is the definition of a headless chicken, man. All no substance, all mouth, no trousers from Sterling back in the day, man, when he was a teenager. It's not even close. Who's a better player at 18 years of age, Greenwood or Sterling? It's not even close. But look at where Sterling is now. He's come on and done amazing things. So, yeah, I think Greenwood, and Simon Bennett's coming today and said Greenwood for Ballon d'Or. I think, Simon Bennett, you're looking at a future Ballon d'Or winner right here. A future Ballon d'Or winner right here, Mason Greenwood. Thank you, GDU Nathy Gaming. He says, Pig needs a place on Good Morning Britain. Let's make a petition to get rid of Piers Morgan and get Pig on there. Nathy, thank you so much. Well, yeah, I think a lot of people, without even knowing who I am, would sign that petition because that Piers Morgan's a complete twat. Right, okay, you bloody bunch of heroes. Thank you so much for tuning into this stream today. Cheeky little good morning show, if you want to call it that. Pig breakfast, that's what we do. We talk about the hot topics. Mason Greenwood, future Ballon d'Or winner. That's right, Simon Bennett, I agree. Thank you so much, Thulani Bukhani. He says he loves the channel. Much appreciated. The whole point of this Pig Breakfast show, really, guys, just to jump on in the morning, start the day off right, get some thoughts off my chest, whether it's United news or from the game before, whatever it is, and have a little chat with you legends before we all start our day. This might be reaching you while you're at work or on your way to work or school or college or whatever it is. Just want to say, have a great day, everybody. Do enjoy your day. Thank you very much for joining me for this morning. And if you're catching up later as well, please do us that massive favour and smash that thumbs up button on it and give it a share if you can. But what do you guys think? I'm going to leave you with this then. What do you guys think? Do you think Greenwood's a future star? Do you think he will go to the Euros next summer? And do you think he's got the potential to win a Ballon d'Or and be the first player for a very long time, an Englishman, to win the Ballon d'Or? What do you guys think? Right then, everyone, I'm going to wrap it up there. Just a few shout-outs right at the end here then. Vince, Bruno, Simon Bennett, Thulani Bukhani, GDU Nathy Gaming, Matty Lewis, Vince, Bruno, Ms528, thank you so much, Joshua Whitfield, Clam J, everybody else, Jarvis Cocker, MUFC gang. He says it's 2 a.m. where I live. I'm going to bed, but wanted to say you're a legend, my G. Oh, sorry, I missed that comment from a little while ago, but thank you so much for that, MUFC gang. Have a great sleep, mate, and it's nice to know we've got people tuning in from all around the world. Okay, we're going to leave it there, guys. Leave a like on it. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on social media at Flying Pig United /Mr. Flying Pig HD. Check out the Facebook page, Flying Pig United. Go to the website, flyingpigunited.com. We've got a great article on there from Griffo, 9 ups and 0 downs from Man United's win against Brighton. So check that one out. Link in the description, flyingpigunited.com. And also I'll be putting the player ratings for the game, a little bit of an in-depth breakdown of all the players' performances on there shortly. So yeah, guys, that's it from me this morning. Stay classy, have a good one. Keep a lookout for content coming on the channel later. There'll be all sorts of stuff. Also, the gaming channel, I'm probably going to jump on and do a bit of GTA or something. So keep a lookout for that, guys. But that's it from me then. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. This is The Pig. Have a great day. And that's about it now from the Piggy Breakfast. Stay classy. I'll see you tomorrow or later on. Keep a lookout. Come on, United. Oh, yes, that's it. That wraps up the Piggy Breakfast then, guys. Have a wonderful day. I need to get myself some actual breakfast now. I'm thinking maybe a bit of bacon action, actually. Oh, yeah, bacon sarnie. Right, you bloody heroes, have a great day. Abbasasani top, man. This is a shout out to all the guys who support this channel on Patreon. You know, Ruddy, Rincon, Matty Norton, Lucinda Green, Robbo. Shout out to Gungshi, by the way. We missed Gungshi on the last show yesterday, so I hope Gungshi's doing okay over in Taiwan. And everybody else who's on this list, thank you so much for supporting the show on Patreon. And also tier 2 channel members appear on this list, and I've got to update it. I've got to put Sam Hopkins, Tom Jackson, Dawn, Ice Queen Gaming is going to be on here, and I'll do that for the next video, guys. Now there's a good few that need to go on there. I'll actually update it. So thank you to everybody that's a channel member and also on Patreon and that good stuff. This is for you. But thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day then. This is the Pig on Flying Pig United saying, come on United! And Greenwood's going to be the Mutts nuts. See you later. Have a great day.